Hey everyone, it's Darlene. Welcome to this week's card. I use the Stampin' Up! Set called Up, Up, and Away, and it's still in the current catalog. I started off creating this sky scene, and I'm just taking this Fiskars Cloud Punch, and I'm punching out some Eclipse masking tape. It doesn't come on a roll anymore. This roll is pretty old. It just comes in sheets, and so I'll have a link to that on my blog. And I'm just going to randomly kind of orient these clouds. And I'm going to take a sponge dauber and some wild wasabi ink, and notice I'm dipping into the wild wasabi and then wiping it off on some scratch sheet of paper. And the reason I'm doing that is I want to get a little bit of green on there because I want the lower portion of the clouds to be more of a yellowy blue. So, but here I am still dipping it into the tempting turquoise, but I just wanted that kind of green base. So I'm going to keep moving these clouds around the card, and I'm going to take my sponge dauber and dip it in the ink, and then notice first I rub it directly onto the cloud, and that's just to get a lot of the ink off because I just want a faint touch of ink. And I can always put more and more layers, but I can't take them away, and you don't want any stark lines or anything like that. So, so I'm going to keep moving this around, and I'm going to continue to use the tempting turquoise. And this is going to give you a little bit, I'm speeding it up here, it's going to give you more precision than you would get with the foam applicator, the rectangular wooden handle foam applicator. It fits directly on your fingertip, and it comes in a pack of, Stampin' Up! It comes in a pack of I think 10. So I just have one for each color. And as I was moving along here, I kind of figured out that I liked having two clouds right next to each other rather than doing one at a time. So I'm just going to move all the way up the paper, and on the last one I'm going to make the cloud go off the top. And notice whenever I do ink, I'm inking down toward the cloud I just created right before. Now I decided I wanted a little bit more down at the bottom here, so I had to redo my wild wasabi so that it would be more of a greenish color down here. And then I'm going to ink all the way down to the bottom of the page. Okay, so now I've got this balloon, and I'm going to stamp it on Neenah Solar White cardstock using Memento ink. And I've got 3 colors of pink here. I'm using the lightest color first, and I find it easy. It's kind of a feathering. You really want to put very, very little pressure on the paper, and that allows those little tiny lines to show up. It took me a while to figure this out. So I started with the lightest color, and then I went in with a medium color, but I didn't go up as high, and then the darkest color I just used at the bottom of the balloon. I'm going to do the same process from the top, and I actually turn the paper over because I find it easier to feather the color upward. So you kind of have to figure out how you do it best on your own. And I'm going off the balloon here, and it works out great because I'm going to be cutting it out, and that way I don't have to start at the bottom of the balloon. And I can sort of feather my way up, and it's much easier that way. So I'm going to do this on all of the white areas. So lightest, medium, and then dark. And really want to be careful to stop. You don't want to keep coloring because you're going to end up coloring that white area, and then you could use your zero marker to remove some of the color, but it's not the same as not coloring it. So just be careful. And I also found that you get those fine lines when you hold your pen more upright than to the side, where I tend to kind of lean to the side when I'm holding a pen. But if you try to keep it upright to the paper, you get more of that fine line. This is actually black, so I can't remember the number. I'll have to put it on my blog. But it's just a black Copic marker, and I'm doing that same feathering thing. And I'm taking advantage of the fact that the Memento ink did not give me a really full, solid color black image. So when I color in the bottom and the top areas in black, it kind of leaves a grayish area where I had just used the ink, and so it looks like it's kind of a reflection there. And I'm doing the same thing in the same spots from the top also. Alright, I'm just going to cut that out. And now I'm working with this Itty Bitty Banner set. I use it a lot actually. And I'm going to stamp it onto some cardstock, and it comes with some matching framelits. And I'm just using my leftover cloud masking to hold it in place while I run it through my Sizzix machine. And I love these sentiments because they have an outline around them. And I really like that. So I'm going to, and actually this one has little dots, and I'm just using those dots as a guide to punch a hole, and I'm going to use some twine here, and I'm just going to thread it through. Alright, now I'm just going to add a couple more stamps here. I've got I'm going to place my balloon and figure out where my sentiment's going to be, and then I'm going to stamp the bottom portion of this balloon in the little basket. And then I'm going to use some foam adhesive, dimensionals, to pop that up. And now there's this little ribbon flag thingy. And I'm going to use my Stamp-O-Majig because I really want it to be exactly right. And actually I did it upside down, so do it again. And just have it come from the top of the basket. And I'm going to add some birds here. I'm going to do all 3, and then I'm going to just do 2. That way it doesn't look like I use the same stamp. Alright, some foam adhesive for my sentiment. And then I'm just going to put some adhesive on the back and wrap my twine around. And then finally I'm just going to adhere this panel to a piece of black cardstock, which is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and then I'm going to adhere that to a 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 folded cardstock. And that's it. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next week. Thanks for watching.